Humans shed skin too, like a lot of skin. According to the WHO and recent studies, the average person will shed roughly 12 pounds of skin in their lifetime. Your cell phone is more disgusting than a public toilet. Your cell phone has 10 times more bacteria on it than the average public restroom. We could solve American homelessness easier than you think. On average, there are over 17 million vacant homes in America at any given time. Meanwhile, according to endhomelessness.org, there are roughly 500,000 homeless people in the States. We have enough vacant homes to give each homeless person several homes. Horned lizards squirt blood from their eyes as a defense mechanism. Our doctors may be killing us. Each year, roughly 250,000 deaths are caused by medical error. Each year. You could be trapped in a coma-like state and be aware of it. Locked-in syndrome might be just one of the most terrifying medical conditions on the planet. It's when you get stuck in between being asleep and awake. You know you're awake and you can hear and see things around you. However, you can't talk, you can't move, except for your eyes, so you're unable to respond to anything. Rat kings are real. When a group of rats living in close quarters get their tails tangled together, they're called a rat king. Your cat may sense when you're dying. A pet cat named Oscar resided in a nursing home and was believed to be able to tell when one of the residents would die soon. He'd sleep beside them until they passed. Never say you're being eaten alive again by mosquitoes. That was an actual method of execution. Escapism was an ancient form of torture and execution where you cover someone with honey, stick them in a hollowed out log, and let nature run its course. Your child is exactly as creepy as you think they are. 20% of children report hearing voices. It could be imaginary friends, or pine trees have proven they can grow inside the human body. Doctors recently went into surgery to remove what they thought was a tumor. It turned out to be a fir tree growing inside the man's lungs. There might be a haunted Russian radio station. UVB 76 is a low-frequency radio station that has been broadcasting since 1982. No one knows where the broadcast is originating from. It's just mostly a buzzing noise with the occasional Russian voice transmission. One-third of murders go unsolved in the United States. The Japanese giant hornet has venom so powerful it is said to melt human flesh. More than 80 million bacteria species are exchanged in a single kiss. There was a chicken called Mike the Headless Chicken. He lived for 18 months after his head was cut off. It takes the death of 27,000 trees daily to make toilet paper for humans. Babies grow mustaches in the womb that then spread to cover their entire body and hair, called lanugo. Body hair keeps them warm and helps regulates their body temperature. They shed it before birth. We all have teeny tiny mites living in our eyelashes. Crows are so intelligent they can recognize the human face. The catacombs of Paris hold the bones and remains of nearly 6 million people. An astronaut's footprint on the moon can remain there for 1 million years. Mice and rats can spread at least 35 different diseases to humans. The pacu fish from South America has human-like teeth. The all the explosions, movement, combustion, and mayhem, the universe is still completely silent. That's because there's no air for the sound to travel through vibrations as it does on Earth. $1.2 trillion gallons of sewage, stormwater, and industrial waste are dumped into the U.S. waters every year. In the 1800s, dentures were made out of the real teeth of deceased people. You can actually fit all the planets in the solar system in the space between the Earth and the Moon. On average, every year, 4.8 to 12.7 million tons of plastic enter the oceans every year. Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland is iconic, but its history is a little spooky. When the ride was first built in the 1960s, the fake skeletons looked too fake, so they got real ones. They eventually got rid of them, but that's pretty spooky. Before the advent of cups and bowls, people in ancient England used hollowed-out human skulls to hold their food and drink. It's estimated that there are more than 2,000 serial killers currently at large worldwide. Ladybugs are known to eat their own larvae to ensure the survival of the other larvae. The human head remains conscious for around 20 seconds after being decapitated. Golden poison dart frog is the size of a paperclip, adorable, and can kill you with a single touch. In fact, just one frog has enough lethal poison in its skin to kill 10 to 15 people. Pigs can eat an entire human body, mostly because they'll just eat anything. A body decomposes 4 times faster in water than on land. Within 3 days of death, the enzymes from your digestive system begin to digest your body. There are about 25 to 50 active serial killers in the United States right now. The Japanese hornet is one of the largest and most venomous hornets in the world. The sting from this bug can result in kidney failure. A rat's teeth can gnaw through substances as hard as lead sheeting and cinder block. Dead bodies swell up like balloons after about 4 days due to the release of gases and liquids. When the movie trailer for The Exorcist first came out in theaters, people were so scared they ran out of the room. Eventually, they stopped playing the trailer in theaters. Did you know chainsaws were originally created for childbirth? Before cesareans were perfected, if babies were too big to pass through the birth canal, a chainsaw was used to remove parts of the pelvis quickly. Until the 20th century, human remains were used in the making of medicines. It was thought that ingesting powdered remains of certain organs would help with the pain or ailments in that part of the body. There is such a thing as homicidal sleepwalking. In 2005, Jules Lowe was acquitted of murdering his father because he was sleepwalking during the crime. In 1973, 2 men in a small submarine experienced a malfunction in the sub. There, 480 meters, or 1,575 feet deep in the ocean, water started flooding in. The sub slowly started sinking. Although the men were able to radio for help, they knew they only had enough oxygen to survive for 3 days. When the rescue team finally found them, they only had 12 minutes of oxygen left. In the last 500 million years, there have been 5 catastrophic mass extinctions that have came this close to eliminating all life from Earth. In fact, per National Geographic, 99% of all life forms to have ever lived on our planet are now extinct. Scientists also predict that humans might cause the 6th Great Extinction. There are approximately 3 million shipwrecks at the bottom of the ocean. The Devil's Bible is real. It's a contract between a monk and Satan. The monk wanted to escape death, so he made a deal with the devil. Every 18 minutes, someone has a brain aneurysm that ruptures. Colossal squids are real and can weigh up to 330 pounds. In 2007, a woman died after drinking more than a gallon of water in 3 hours. She did it to win a Wii. The film A Nightmare on Elm Street is based on a real story reported in the LA Times. A boy was terrified to go to sleep, and when he did, he died while screaming about a nightmare. In ancient Rome, people used to believe that drinking the blood of dead gladiators would give you their strength. The ancient Romans also thought that drinking blood would cure epilepsy. In 1915, Dr. D.K. Briggins of Blacksville, South Carolina, declared 30-year-old Essie Dunbar dead after an apparent epilepsy attack. She was buried the following morning, but her sister in the neighboring town couldn't get there until after the coffin had been lowered into the ground. When she arrived, she demanded that they dig up the coffin so she could see her sister one last time. When the screws were removed and the coffin was opened, Essie sat up and smiled at her sister. She went on to live another 47 years, although many people believed her to be a zombie. A book written 14 years before the 1912 sinking of the Titanic may have predicted the ship's tragic demise. The novel, titled The Wreck of the Titanic, or Futility, was about an unsinkable ship that hit an iceberg. It also had a shortage of lifeboats. Up until the end of the 1980s, some doctors didn't believe newborns could feel pain. The chance someone will die on their birthday is 6.7%, which is higher than any other day. There's an ancient book full of strange symbols no one can translate. It's called the Voynich manuscript, and it's full of strange symbols, drawings, and letters. The drawings depict men, women, and what looks like plants, but it's not clear what they're doing. The writings look like words, but it's not in any recognizable language. Some people think it's a textbook for midwives or a recipe book. Others think it's a spell book. Some think it's a hoax, but no one knows what it is.